Yo, what's good, everyone? All right, we back in here for all the people that jumped in early to hit that like button to be a part of this conversation on this hopefully lovely Wednesday morning leading into the afternoon, wherever you are in the States or if you're in the stateside. If you're on my side of the world, well, it is late at night and I have my nightly tea. Let me take a sip of that because I'm probably going to need that tea to numb my wits a little bit before I get cooking on this topic. Y'all see the title of the live stream. So, you know what we're about to talk about. A lot of channels have been talking about it all throughout the night. I see that my man Drew Titan is live right now. So, shout out to Drew. I didn't want to cut into his time, but time is precious for me. My schedule is so crazy tight that I just try to squeeze in whenever I can. Hopefully, you were able to get some thoughts over there. And I want to give a special shout out to Blue Blood, man. I was on his live late last night. He was on live until like midnight, almost 1 o'clock in the morning this morning. Talking about this very topic. And I want to give him a shout out because he had a particular individual who called in. And I don't know if you guys had watched it or not, but they were having some heated debate going on. And I listened for probably about a good 20, 30 minutes. And I'm still not sure what the guy was trying to say. I think he was trying to say that Kambosos is making a strategic move to fight Lomachenko, and Lomachenko is a quality fight to take, which, okay, that's your opinion, but somehow he started going off left field talking about how black fighters are not underappreciated and the race narrative doesn't exist. So that's when the waters got choppy, as my man Omega Red would say in the Navy, right? It's not smooth sailing at that point. And so I was listening in. I want to give my shout out to Blue Blood because his patience is of immense power. Let me just say that for having to deal with that guest on his show. Want to go ahead and give out real quick shout out for the people that did come in. We got Marshall Carter. What's up, Marshall? I don't know if you're still here, but nonetheless, thanks for dropping by and dropping that comment. Stacy Rubin, I'm not sure if you're still here. I got your comment up here, bro. We're going to talk about it. Stephen L., the Mac, salute to you. Thanks for dropping by, bro. Omega Red, of course, as I just mentioned. My man, a fellow Navy veteran, was good. SM in the building, an official member of the channel. I appreciate you, and I thank you, SM, for continuing to support the channel with that channel membership. We got Jave Jay Smooth in the building. And all right, cool. Marshall Carter is still here. Right. So after listening to Blue Blood, and then listening to Drew a little bit earlier this morning, I wanted to come on here and give my thoughts. Right. There's a poll up in the chat right now. Make sure you vote in that poll. Let your voice be heard. Or maybe you want to push the pause button. Maybe you don't want to vote in the poll yet until you hear my thoughts. That's cool too. But nonetheless, the poll is there. I put these polls up here so you can voice an opinion, and let your voice be heard. That's why it's there. So far, 13 votes in, 77% said that yes, he's absolutely ducking. 15% saying nah, it's strategic, and 8% saying they're not sure. Now, if you're saying that no, he's not ducking because it's strategic, well, I'm glad you're here because we're going to talk about it, right? And I'm going to give you my thoughts on the situation. It may be a little bit different than other people, but you guys know how I do it here. I keep it raw, authentic every single time. Shout out to my man Omega Red in here, becoming a new member of the channel. Salute to you. My man Omega's been supporting the channel for a hot minute. And as I said, fellow Navy veteran, got to show my love and appreciation coming in with that supporter pack. Now you got access to those custom emojis, and some other great perks, like anytime I drop a vid, especially lives that you weren't able to make. Sometimes I make those live videos for members only. So congratulations and thank you to Omega Red. Volt UK in the building was good, bro. Volt says Bob was very sneaky in his offer to Kambosos, offering a rematch in his own country if he loses to Loma. Yeah, so I saw the rematch clause. So let me take a step back before I get cooking too much, because I like to let the fire simmer a little bit before I just douse it with gasoline. So let's take a step back. Remember when Kambosos beat and had that amazing shocker victory, right? Not too long ago. And many of us, myself included, were in shock and awe, right? I went a live commentary during the whole entire fight. We had a lot of Kambosos fans come in here from Australia, from Greece. It was all love. It was appreciation. We were happy that he beat Valdez's ass. A lot of people weren't sure that he was going to do it. A lot of people thought he was going to get whitewashed. A lot of people thought just another speed bump, right? But see, this is the thing. Sometimes you got to reflect in the past a little bit. You don't live in the past. You reflect in the past so you can give yourself a reminder. You see, we remember, right, when Devin Haney and Valdez, they met up and they had their little heated conversation, if that's what you want to call it. I put it nicely. Valdez's dad jumping in there. Devin Haney and his team was in there. They're going back and forth. No, you ducking. Nah, I ain't ducking. You ducking. Remember that? Remember that little conversation that blew up all over the internet leading up to the Kambosos fight? Right? It's funny how things play out now. Because it seems to be that the way things are going right now, neither one of these two men, as in Kambosos and Valdez, is going to fight Haney. Right? So this is what this whole conversation is about, is Haney being ducked? And if he is, why? That's what this is really about. Because as I just said, as it's looking right now, these two men are not going to fight him. And Devin Haney is currently doing all he can via social media to call Kambosos' team, promoter, manager, whoever it is, call their bluff and say, like, whatever you all about to pay Lomachenko, all get paid the same. I'll even get paid less. Let's make the fight happen. Now, to my knowledge, and somebody, if you guys know a little bit more, you can correct me, because I only listen to a few channels out here. I don't spend hours and hours and hours researching stuff. From what I know, the deal has already been signed on Lomachenko's side. But I don't think that Kambosos has actually signed it yet. It is leaning that direction, but there's no pen to paper yet. Now, I'm not sure because there might be money issues or what the case is. I browsed over an article. I didn't read it in depth, which makes sense. If Devin Haney's still trying to get his foot into the door, that would make me feel like there's no pen to paper yet. But Lomachenko, he's ready, right? Well, that makes sense, right? That makes sense because he's trying to be relevant again, right? He's trying to be relevant again. Ever since he lost to Teofimo Lopez, and I apologize, this whole time I've been saying Valdez, man. Do you know why I say Valdez? Oh, Jesus Christ. The whole reason why I've been saying Valdez, man, because I was just reading this article about PEDs. And I got his name in my head. So I apologize for the mix-up. I meant Teofimo Lopez. See, even though I don't even take PEDs, but I read into it, I feel like it still affects my brain. Still affects my mind, my psyche. So my apologies once again. Teofimo Lopez. Right? So ever since Lomachenko lost to Teofimo Lopez, he's kind of lost that luster, right? That appeal. Right? He had a couple little fights in between, fought Nakatani and Comey, but he doesn't have that same luster, that same appeal. So for him to fight the guy who just took all the belts, he's going to fight the guy who just beat the guy he couldn't beat to take another shot to get all the belts. So I find this whole situation very ironic, right? So I wanted to lay the landscape a little bit. So we revisit, like I said, you don't live in the past, but sometimes you take a quick look as a reminder. And at the end of the day, the person that is not in conversation and the person that continues to be looked as it doesn't matter how you cut it or slice it. Either you think that, oh, it's unlucky, or he's not getting enough credit, or whatever your stance is about Devin Haney. And you can tell me in the chat. The chat's there. You can tell me why you think that Devin Haney is or isn't ducked. I still haven't heard from anybody in the chat yet on why they think that Devin Haney's not being ducked, even though we have 5% of the people saying not sure and 14% of the people in the poll saying no is a strategic move on Kambosos' part. So it doesn't really matter how you cut it or slice it. My question is for you is, why is Devin Haney continuously being put to the side? That's what I want to know. Now let's go ahead and get to the nitty gritty. K-Rod in the building was good. Stormy B-Man in the building. I see you. Mangus Allen, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well out there. So let's look at this. And I probably wasn't going to go live about this until everything was signed, sealed, and delivered. I know exactly what's going to happen. Yes, Lomachenko's fighting George. They both signed it. It's agreed. I know there's a date. I know everything is, I don't know, let's say there's 90% complete. But like I was saying before, as far as I know, there hasn't been anything signed on Kambosos' part yet, unless you guys have woke up in the morning and read something that I haven't read yet. But that's what I've heard. My question is, let's put that to the side just for a moment. The whole Kambosos not fighting Devin Haney. Let's talk about something that I feel like is important, because I want to strike while the kettle's hot. I wasn't going to talk about this, like I said, until it's signed, sealed, and delivered. And it's like I said, yes, it's Loma and it's Kambosos. Then I would have addressed that directly head on. But until I know otherwise, I'm not going to speak on that quite yet. I might talk about it a little bit here in a second. But what I want to focus on is what I heard on Blue Bloods Live late last night. And like I said earlier, for some of you who are just dropping in, He was live last night until like midnight. He had a caller on his live who called in basically supporting Kambosos. Originally, he called in saying, Kambosos um, is making the right business choice to fight Lomachenko. He was giving his opinion about when, why, and how, and et cetera, et cetera. And Blue was like, all right, cool. That's your opinion. We're having a conversation. And then somehow the dude started going off left field like it seems like a lot of these dudes do out here. And he started saying, oh, I'm sick and tired of this race narrative. It doesn't exist. It's not 1930 anymore. It's not 1940 anymore. Black fighters get paid the most. Black fighters get all the love. Black fighters get all the appreciation. And so the waters got choppy. And then the call became heated and there became a debate and went on for 20, 30 minutes until Blue finally said, you know what, bro? I got nothing else to say to you. So I want to talk about that real quickly before I give my thoughts about what seems to happen, the scene that's going to happen, which will be Loma versus Kambosos, and why Kambosos is not fighting Haney. Look, I can tell that Blue was trying to avoid getting into a conversation on why or how race is involved in the sport of boxing. And that's one thing that I appreciate about Blue is he tries to keep it about boxing. He tries to keep it straight down the line. He's out there working hard. He's grinding, building his brand, and he's doing it all for the love of boxing. And rest in peace to Kurt Sugar, by the way, who was a very positive influence to Blue. And now you see a little bit of Kurt coming out of Blue now. Become a little bit of a boxing historian now, which I appreciate and I respect. But I can see that he was trying to avoid it as much as he possibly could. But you see, this is the problem. This is what we talk about on here all the time. It's not like Divine Sense wants to talk about race and boxing. It's not that Drew Titan wants to talk about race and boxing, Blue Blood, 78, or any of us. We want to talk about boxing. We don't give a shit what color you are. If you in the ring, we want to talk about it. We're going to give our opinions on why we think a certain fighter is going to win, and that's what we try to do. You see, but it's other people that go out of their way to make duplicate accounts, burner accounts, troll accounts, try to get up on your live, try to troll you on Instagram, troll you on Twitter, try to get up, in the comment section. And then they call your phone now, it seems like, because that's how Blue does it. And I know my man Stormy B-Man does the same thing in his call-in show. Put the number up, people call in. And these people, they literally lurk. They out here lurking. And you see, we have to be careful of these type of people because they come with the narrative, right? They come with that, they come bearing that shield and banner of, oh, I'm a boxing fan. I've been watching boxing. The dude told Blue last night on his live, oh, I'm pretty sure I'm at least 10 years older than you. I have at least 10 more years of watching more boxing than you. He told Blue this on his live. But that's the banner they carry into the battlefield with. But it's fake. That's the way they infiltrate. You got to keep your head on a swivel. So, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to keep it short and simple. And then I'll get into, excuse me, and then I'm going to get into this whole Kambosos and Lomachenko situation, which is I know why you guys really came in here for. But I just want to say this just real quickly. If anybody out there is going to pretend that boxing is not a race-driven sport, then you are outside of your mind. And even right now in 2022, if you think race is not involved in boxing, then I think you're better off going and supporting a different sport. Right? And I'm going to put things into perspective just real quickly and hone in on this and solidify this point. It's quite simple. It's very, very simple. It's really not rocket science. If you want to say, the dude said, oh, well, black fighters make the most money. Well, black fighters are the talent. It just is what it is. It's not their fault that there's not enough white fighters or Latino fighters or Asian fighters or whatever it may be. It's just black fighters are the talent. So, of course, they're going to make more money. I mean, it's just like, really? That's your argument? Secondly, if you want to talk about the privilege or you want to say it doesn't exist, well, let's put it into perspective since we're on the conversation of Lomachenko. Right? Lomachenko, if you guys don't know, in his second professional fight, his first fight into the pros, and by the way, his whole amateur career, as distinguished as it is, there's blemishes there. Okay, but I won't get into that right now. Let's just focus on the professional career. And I don't mean blemishes as far as victories and gold medals. I mean something else. And if you with me, you with me. But I'll just keep it there for now. I'll unopen that box perhaps another time. Maybe I'll do a whole damn saga about Lomachenko. And by the way, let me say this too for the record. I don't have anything against Lomachenko. I don't have anything against his skill set. I don't have anything against what he brings to boxing, what brings to the table. I think that he's a quality fighter. And I have no problem saying that live. At the end of the day, I am a boxing fan. And the dude's got skill. Okay? So I want to put that out before anybody comes out. You just a Loma hater. All right. I'm a supporter of boxing. I don't care what style you have, where you come from, or what you look like. If you step through those ropes, I appreciate you. I respect you. Now we get into this elite level type shit. Like we talking about championship level, elite level, like what we're talking about right here. Kambosos, Lomachenko, Lopez. All these guys up here trying to be the best. Things get a little bit different at this level. Right? Things get a little bit different. We hold these guys to a standard. We hold these fighters to a very, very high standard. Now, up on here on the screen is Lomachenko's resume. Just give me a second. Sort this out a little bit. Right. I'm going to blow this up a little bit more. Perhaps you guys can see it. Now, I'll keep his amateur career to the side for now. The guy's got 5,000 gold medals. Good for him. I won't unpack that until another time. Let's just focus on his professional career. We all know, if you've been watching boxing long enough, that Lomachenko got into the professional ranks late, right? Because he obviously was boxing in the amateurs for quite a while. Right? His professional career started in 2013. 2013. Lomachenko was born in 1988. So he's 33 right now. So do the math. Right? So how old was he when he started professional boxing? Well, 22, 23, something like that. Right? His first fight he fights a guy named Jose Luis Ramirez. Andrew Charles, what's good? Cedric Taylor, what's good? Thanks for dropping by. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit it. Jab it. Slip, jab, hook it. I don't care what you got to do. Get the likes up. Let the people know we're in here having a boxing conversation. I appreciate you. His first fight as a professional, he fights a guy named Jose Luis Ramirez. Nobody knows who he is. I don't really know much about him. This is Wikipedia. I have to pull him up on BoxRec to really get into his resume. But let's keep it real. He's not a notable name. I was trying to be nice about that. Then his second fight in, he fights Orlando Salido. A lot of us know who that is, right? He's a contender, fought for the belts a few times. We know who he is. But the point here is that he fought for a vacant WBO featherweight title. His second fight in the pros. Y'all paying attention to what I'm saying right here? Y'all paying attention to what I'm saying? Because you guys ready for this, right? Y'all ready? For all the Lomachenko fans watching, for all of the Kambosos fans watching, this is the point that I'm trying to make. Whenever the conversation is, oh, bro, come on, man, don't do the race narrative. I don't do it. Boxing itself does it. Don't bring it up to me. Bring it up to the promoters and the managers and the people who run the sport of boxing, the corrupt system that operates behind the scenes. Take it up with them. Because, you ready? The dude comes in the professional ranks, second fight in, and fights for a vacant title, which he loses, by the way. He loses it against Salido. Right? Then, well, let me pause there for a second, though. I don't want to lose people. So, he comes in, second fight in, loses to Salido. How many fights did it take? Let's keep it in the same division. How about that? Let's keep it in the same division. How many fights did it take for Devin Haney to get a title shot? I don't have it up on the screen right now because I have Lomachenko's, but I'll count it out for you and you guys can fucking fact check it. And I'm talking about I'm not talking about any interim title shots or a youth title, like a straight up, WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF type shit, right? It took him 24 fights. 24. When he fought a guy named Alfredo Santiago. Right? No, I apologize. 23 fights when he fought Zaire Abdulev. I apologize. He fought Santiago and retained his title for the first time. So 23 fights. 23 fights. It took Lomachenko 2. Now, Lomachenko lost that fight. Now, you can say he redeemed himself when he beat Gary Russell Jr. by a majority decision. So majority decision means one guy had Gary winning the fight. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. But okay, he beat Gary. So he kind of redeems himself. He reminds people of who he is, this great amateur fighter, this amateur pedigree, this, that, and the third. I beat Gary Russell Jr. Okay. And he won a vacant title. He won the vacant WBO featherweight title. See, this is crazy shit right here that I'm looking at. Craziness. Because you fight Salido for the WBO and then you lose. And then your next fight, you win the WBO against Gary Russell. So basically, you get 2 title shots back to back. You take an L against Salido, and they put you right back in there with Gary Russell Jr., and you get another title shot. So this is what I'm talking about, and I'm still waiting for a response. I'm still waiting for somebody to explain to me on why that is. Like, why does a guy get to have 2 title shots as a professional in his first 3 fights within his first 3 fights, back to back. I'm waiting for it. I have nobody. Oh well, he's got all these gold medals as an amateur, not as a professional. That shit is in the amateurs. How many times do boxers? I won't even talk about race. I won't even mention race. Let's just say boxers. How many boxers have went into the Olympics, won medals, had a distinguished amateur career, won Golden Gloves, and then they come into professional ranks and sometimes either A, takes them 15 to 20 fights to get a title shot, or B, they come into the professional ranks and they're not the same. It's a different level. They maybe win 5 or 6 early fights and they start taking losses when they start stepping up in competition. This happens all the time. There are names in boxing right now who has won national championships, Golden Gloves, medaled in the Olympics, and we don't even hear or talk about them anymore because when they became a professional, they became irrelevant. This happens all the time. Through a Hill was good. DP Rocker in the building was good, bro. So we have to grasp and wrap our mind around this. And people say, okay, you're playing into the race narrative. We don't need to play into it. It exists by the powers that be. It's ingrained in the system. And again, I asked a question, I haven't got an answer for it, which is, how does a guy go from the amateurs to the pros and within his first 3 fights gets 2 title shots? It took Devin Haney 23 fights. 23 fights to get a title shot. And Devin Haney had a very good amateur career as well. Gold medalist in Reno for the Junior National Championships, gold medal in Reno in 2014 and 2015, back-to-back years. He was a junior national champion, gold medalist. It took him 23 fights to get a title shot. Oh, but it's not the same as the Olympics. It's amateur. It's amateur. Oh, but there's levels to amateur. Oh, there is? Oh, okay. There's levels to amateur now. Okay. If that's your case. I mean, it's right in front of you. This is right in front of you, guys. This is the man's resume. This is Lomachenko's resume. Okay, Devin, so what's your point? Why do you bring this up? My point is number one, what I was saying earlier. If you want to cry or get upset that we talk about race, which we don't, by the way, you guys bring it to us, and then we explain it, basically. Like, I always feel like I'm on defense. I'm not on offense. I'm not attacking people. I'm not like, hey, I'm going to make a live today and explain to the whole world why, certain fighters are better than other fighters and why a race plays a role in boxing. No, I'm on defense constantly because people be saying dumb shit. So let's take it this way then. Let's look at another example real quick. A name that everybody is familiar with. Just to, just put a little more of a thorn in everyone's side on this topic, just to kind of nail it down a little bit deeper. Let's look at a name that everybody is familiar with, who happens to be black, of course, as well. Right? Y'all ready for this? Just to rub a little more salt in the wounds, because I know it's burning. It's burning. Right here. Ready? Boom. Who's that on the screen? We all know who this is, right? You don't got to be a boxing historian to know who this man is. If you were alive in 2022 and you've been watching boxing, you know who this is, right? He was an Olympian. As a matter of fact, you don't take my opinion for it, but take basically every single boxing expert at the time who covered what was it, the 96 Olympics that Floyd fought in? Yeah, 96 in Atlanta. Every single expert that commentated, analyzed, was a part of the 96 Olympics said that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was robbed a gold medal. Everyone. And I would invite anybody to go and find somebody who said, "Oh yeah, I thought Floyd lost that fight." I dare you. Please, I'm waiting. So I just want to say that. Just want to say that before he said, "Oh, Devin said this guy, man, he's trying to help the black man." I don't need to try to help the black man. Facts are facts. What am I making up? It's not my fault you can't see the truth. It's not my fault you're blind. It's not my fault that you like to live in ignorance. That's not my fault. You got some things to correct. So, check this out. We got a man right here, also an Olympian, who, in the eyes, as I said, of all boxing experts in the 1996 Olympics, coaches, managers, those analyzing the fight, commentating the fights, the Olympics, the boxing section of the Olympics, all said that Floyd got robbed. I dare you to find someone who said he wasn't. So we got a guy. No, he didn't go into the Olympics 6 different times like Lomachenko did, or how many other times Lomachenko did. But he's an Olympian nonetheless who was robbed a gold medal. Okay? Leaves the amateur ranks, and I won't even mention the times that, he fought as an amateur and all the amateur fights that he won. That's I don't even care about that. We are comparing Olympian to an Olympian, Lomachenko and Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, how many fights did it take him to get a title shot? Dwayne Price in the building was good. PGH Big Dog in the building. R Rada the Prophet B1 was good. Razor 531, salute to you. Thanks for dropping by. We should have the likes all the way up to 25 or 30 by now. Right? We have more than enough people in here. We got 37 votes in the chat, but only 22 likes. So scroll down to the bottom of your phone there, hit that like button, let the people know that you love boxing. Now, if you don't hit the like button, you're a hater, and that's fine too. Go ahead and vote and be a hater. Now, look, let's count this out, right? How many fights did it take Floyd Mayweather to get a title shot? Recap. It took Lomachenko 2 fights, but within 3 fights, he had 2 title shots. An Olympian, just like Floyd. Floyd got his first title shot against Genaro Hernandez in his 18th fight. He got a shot at the WBC super featherweight title. 18 fights. A fellow Olympian, who everybody knows was robbed the gold medal. 18 fights. I mean, people, is this seriously even a debate? Should this even be a conversation? Oh, well, Divine, why are you talking about it then? Because this is what people are saying all across the landscape of the boxing community here on YouTube. Lomachenko deserved those title shots. How? I'll wait. And by the way, here's a question for the chat. for those of you who are watching boxing in the late 90s, who is a better fighter, in your opinion? Gennaro Hernandez or Orlando Salido for a title shot? In my opinion, Gennaro Hernandez is a way better fighter than Orlando Salido. It's not even a comparison how much he was better. And it took Floyd 18 fights to get there, and he fought a much higher caliber fighter. Do I rest my case? Do I rest my case when it comes to this conversation that, oh, please stop with this race narrative. Please, I'm sick of it. It's not 1930. Yep, you're right. It's not 1930. It is 2022. It was happening in the late 90s. So that's not 1930. That's not 1940. Hell, that's not even 1980. This is the late 90s. It's about to be the turn of the century. About to be the year 2000. And we got Devin Haney taking him 23 fights to get a title shot. Oh, but that's not a right comparison. Devin Haney never went to the Olympics. Okay, well, here's Floyd, fellow Olympian. So what do you got to say about that then? Oh, well, just give Lomachenko his credit, man. He's just good. I ain't got nothing against Lomachenko. I think he's a quality fighter. I think he brings a lot to boxing. I think he's a challenge for anybody that he steps into the ring with at 130 pounds. But these are facts that we're talking about right here. These are facts. So I think we're on the same page. I don't have anybody in the chat disputing it. So you're either nodding your head in agreement, commenting in the chat, or sitting there with your arms crossed and pouting because you don't like the truth. Not my problem. Prove me otherwise. I don't have any problem. Let me say it again. I don't have any problem with Lomachenko as a fighter. I think he's a quality fighter. I do have a problem with him getting a title shot, his second fight in the pros, loses that fight, and gets another shot against Gary Russell Jr., who he had to squeak by with a majority decision. Newsflash, Floyd Mayweather Jr., 18th fight in, fights Gennaro Hernandez, and he beat the brakes off Gennaro Hernandez. Beat the brakes off of him. Did Lomachenko do that to Gary Russell Jr.? No, sir, he did not. That was a rugged fight. No, sir, he did not. And this is the things that we've been talking about for years and years and years here on YouTube. All these channels, right? Well, the black fighter makes all the money, so what are they crying about? Really? Really? Have you looked at the landscape of boxing, sir? How many black fighters are there in comparison to other races? Do we really want to play this numbers game? Really? Come on, man. Come on, man. Big Dog Willie in the building. It's good to see you, bro. So look, now that we got something established, I got no dispute in the chat, so we'll keep it moving. Next topic at hand. Let's keep it lasered in on Lomachenko, right? Let me go ahead and bring his resume up here back on the screen. And I hope people that weren't able to watch this live, I really, really do hope that they can come in here later. Because I know that people are out there arguing with people in the comment sections and shit like that. I want people, my Biggs boxing salute. I want people to be educated and steadfast. I want them to be firm. I want them to be strong. I want them to have the information that they need. This is why I'm on this shit. This is chess, not checkers. Don't let these people out here make you second guess shit. Oh, really? Damn, yeah, like, yeah, I guess the black fighter does get a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, black fighters do make a lot more money than other races. That fact is true. But guess what? They got to go through rings of fire and go through all kinds of shit just to even get a title shot. It will literally take me 15 minutes. I can pull up 10 names of black champions right now who are holding belts right now, and I can almost guarantee you that it took them minimum 15 fights to get that title shot. They earn those title shots. Mont Brink, what's good, bro? So, you guys, hey, you can miss me with that bullshit, okay? You can miss me with it. Now, Lomachenko, because the conversation is Lomachenko and Kambosos are going to fight. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, why do you want to fight Lomachenko and not Devin Haney? That's what I'm going to try to figure out. Because let's talk numbers. Let's talk the ability to sell a fight, because people always bring that up. Well, Devin Haney's pretty good, but he can't sell a fight. Okay, so Lomachenko can? How's that? All right, so let's break it down. Let's look at everything. Let's see if, because it's supposed to be about BFTB, right? So let's break it down. The dude beats Gary Russell Jr. He gets his first belt. He gets a WBO. He retains that title 1, 2, 3 times. Right? Fighting guys that I know a little bit about this Thai fighter, Cholantan. This dude right here. I know a little bit about him, but most people don't. I just know about him because I live out here. Then he beat Galimir Rodriguez, which is an okay fight. Out of 5 stars, I give it a 3. Personally. Then he beats. Then he wins the WBO junior lightweight title when he beats Roman Martinez. These fights right here don't mean much to me, for me personally. And if any of these names that I just mentioned outside of Gary Russell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. If these names mean anything to you, put it in the comment section, because they don't mean nothing to me in regards to a distinguished record that holds so much notoriety to where Kambosos would have to duck Devin Haney to fight this great master Lomachenko, who's accomplished so much as a professional. Then I want to hone in on this Nicholas Waters fight right here real quick, which ended in a corner stoppage. Now, I give Lomachenko these other names below Nicholas Waters. I don't give him credit for, but I will. Bruce Goes, what's good? Oh, Rada. Oh, they do it all the time. They do it all the time. It'll come in the comment section after. They don't have the guts to say it in the chat, but it'll come in the comment section. You almost guarantee it. Jeffrey H. Lopez, what's good, man? I appreciate you always coming in here and telling people to hit that damn like button. Like I said, if you haven't hit the like button yet, then you're upset at facts and you're a hater, or you haven't slid down your phone real quick, or your tablet or iPad or whatever you're using to just hit that like button real quick. So make sure that happens. I appreciate you. And the poll's live. Make sure you vote in that poll. Get the poll going. We got close to 50 votes in the poll so far. So for me, none of these names mean shit to me personally, other than Nicholas Waters. I give Lomachenko credit for Nicholas Waters because, for those of you who don't know, Nicholas Waters was on a tear, right, at one point in his career. He was like basically just knocking everybody out. I think at one point before he fought Lomachenko, he must have had like a 60 or 70% KO ratio as a featherweight. So he was destroying fools. And here's the thing, though. Here, I do want to point this out, is that Nicholas Waters was inactive for 1 year before he fought Lomachenko. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm stating facts. He was inactive for 1 year. When Waters was active, he was basically knocking out 70% of his opponents. But I'll tell you what, I'm a nice guy. I'll give Lomachenko credit for that win, even though Waters was inactive for a year. But I'll give him the win for the reasons I just stated. Then he goes on and fights Jason Sosa, Miguel Mariaga, and then he goes on and fights a very familiar name in Rigondeaux, right? And that was when he really hit stardom, is when he beat Rigondeaux, especially for the casual boxing fans who loosely watch boxing only for big fights. A lot of people knew Lomachenko because of his amateur career, Olympics, blah, 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 blah. But he really got his shine when he outboxed, admittingly, I have to say, he outboxed and embarrassed Rigondeaux. And he got a shine. So what are we? We're 11 fights in, and I give him credit for 2. I give him credit for Nicholas Waters, and I give him credit for Rigondeaux. Okay? Then he fights Jorge Linares. Now, when he fights Linares was when he won all these, he won the WBA. So he's got the WBO, WBA, and I apologize, also the ring. So now he's got 3 titles. So then the question is, what kind of a quality opponent is Linares? Well, up until the point where before he fought Lomachenko, I mean, he's got some okay names on his resume. He got Luke Campbell on there. He beat Anthony Crolla from the UK. He beat Ivan Cano. A lot of people should know Ivan Cano from Mexico. I mean, and he had over 50 fights by the time he faced Lomachenko, or not quite 50 fights yet, about 47, 48 fights before he fought Lomachenko. Black Superman, it's been a while, bro. I appreciate you. All right, so he wins another title with Jorge Linares. For me, off a scale of 5 being top of the division, like top 3, best in the division, I give Linares, I give him a 3. Right, I give him a 3. Then he fights Jose Peraza, then Anthony Crolla, a guy that Linares already beat. He beat Luke Campbell, a guy that he beat Luke Campbell, a guy that a lot of these guys that I already mentioned already beat. Right? And that's when he wins. When he beats Luke Campbell, he gets he wins a vacant WBC. So now he's got the WBA, WBO, ring, and WBC when he beats Luke Campbell. Right? Luke Campbell. Right? So Luke Campbell, who did he beat to win the titles? Oh, of course, he beats Jorge Linares. That's who he beats. He beats Jorge Linares for the titles. And then, Lomachenko beats Linares first, and then he goes in and beats Campbell after that. Right? The irony of boxing. Healer, the mind-body coach, was good. Good to see you in here. Right? That the irony of boxing. And then, of course, he wins all these belts. He wins belts from Luke Campbell. He wins belts from Jorge Linares. He wins belts from who's that guy there at the bottom again? Gary Russell. right? So Gary, he didn't win he didn't take the belt off of Gary. He won a vacant title against Gary, and then against Jorge Linares, and then again against Luke Campbell. Those were the opponents that he beat to get those straps. All right? Y'all following me? Then, of course, he goes and drops the ball against Lopez. Lopez takes all the straps. So this is the guy. I'm trying to make it make sense. This is the guy that Kambosos is trying to have us believe that he needs to fight next. Not Devin Haney, but this guy. So the first thing people will say, well, yeah, Lomachenko's only got, 18 fights or whatever the hell it is. But, his resume ain't that perfect. It's not perfect, but it's still better than Devin Haney's. That's what they say next. It's still better than Devin Haney's. And he can sell a fight better than Devin Haney. Right? It's about numbers. It's about popularity. It's about popularity. Devin Haney's not popular. Yeah, Montbrink. Yeah, that was a vacant title as well. Thanks for pointing that out. When he beat Luke Campbell, he retained the WBA, WBO in the ring, and then he won another vacant title, the WBC, which is left by Garcia. Yep. So there you go, guys. This is the guy that Kambosos is telling us that he needs to fight before he fights Devin Haney. Now, y'all can make up your own damn conclusions. I'm not going to go BFTB style on here and start pulling out receipts and start going crazy. I'm going to leave that for my man BFTB because that's his thing. But all I want to do is just put it up on the screen because that's what I like to do here. I like to have you guys think. Don't take my word for it. Just look at it. Just look at it. Out of all the belts that Lomachenko won, how many did he actually take off a reigning champion? Like, actually won a title off of a champion. When he beat Gary Russell Jr., that was for a vacant title. He beat Roman Martinez. Roman Martinez for the junior lightweight title. That's when he won the WBO. So that's one. Then Linares. He beat Linares and he won the WBA in the ring. So that's two guys. So he beat two guys to take on straps because Gary Russell was for a vacant. When he beat Luke Campbell, that was for vacant titles. But the problem with Jorge Linares is this, guys. This is the problem with him. You say, well, yeah, you see, he beat this guy. He took his belts. Check this. Jorge Linares, who did he lose to? He lost to Devin Haney. He lost to Pablo Cesar Cano. Right? But the irony is he beat Luke Campbell. But ain't nobody fighting Devin Haney. Devin Haney is struggling because you say, well, Devin Haney fought Jorge Linares too. Nobody else wants to fight Devin Haney. That's the whole point of this. This is why we are talking about this right now. He's probably scratching and clawing just to get a Linares fight, which he shouldn't have to. And you might say, well, if you want to say Lomachenko he only beat a couple fighters to take all those belts from, well, Devin Haney didn't beat anybody to take a belt. He only won vacant titles because nobody will fight him. That's why. That's why. Joe, what's good? Platt Boys, what's good, man? Good to see you in here. I appreciate you. Shout out to my man Platt Boys. Still an official member of the channel, still loyal, still out here supporting the channel, even though I don't go live as much as I normally do. Much appreciation. Always good to see you as well, Joe. My man Stacy in here says in that super chat, $5 super chat, I appreciate you. He says, let's keep it a buck. Who in the hell has Kambosos beaten aside from Lopez? Haney should have gotten that fight anyway instead of Kambosos. That is keeping it a buck. That is keeping it a buck. Absolutely. Who has Kambosos beaten? But that's why that Kambosos fight is it's a huge shock. Because it's like, there's no way this dude is going to beat Lopez. He ain't fought nobody. And then he shocked the world. But what did we do, though, as a community, right? Because we're painted as racist and we only support black fighters. What did we do here as a community when Kambosos shocked us and beat Lopez? What did we do? We cheered for him. We celebrated with him. We commended him. We supported him. Did we not? Somebody tell me in the chat of a channel that after Kambosos won and beat Lopez and shocked the world, where they said, "Oh, that don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. F this dude, man. F this dude, Kambosos." In this community that we're in right here, right now, somebody tell me. And if you actually know of somebody and you don't want to put it in the chat, text me. My Instagram is at the bottom of the screen right now. Hit me up. But I can guarantee you here, as live commentating during the entire fight of that event, which, by the way, out of all the fights that I've commentated on live and predicted, is that one and the Wilder Fury fight are the only two fights that I did not predict correctly. So not only did I thought that Lopez was going to win, and I lost my prediction, or I failed in my prediction, and I lost money on that fight too. I still gave Kambosos his flowers. I still gave him his congratulations. And only thing that we said here on my channel and many other channels that I watched personally with my own eyes was, Kambosos, congratulations, you took the title from Lopez. You know, another reason why we supported Kambosos' victory is because Lopez was out there talking shit to and about Devin Haney for months. And we said, man, he ain't going to fight Haney. He's just going to talk shit. So please, George Kambosos, beat this dude up. Beat his ass. And he went in there and got the job done. So this is why I love this community. Because it gets heated sometimes, and we get crazy sometimes, and we let our emotions fly sometimes. We're a passionate group of people. Right? But you come in there and you gain respect, you get respect. We don't care where you come from or who you are. And that's why I don't tolerate no bullshit. Oh, the LDBC, they only support black fighters. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. First off, you a rookie. If you saying that, you a rookie in this game. I've been around here since 2009, 2008. Where you been? You a rookie to be saying some dumb shit like that. Don't get me on another rant, because I will, because there's somebody probably recording me right now as I'm doing this. They love recording me. They love recording Drew Titan. They got man crushes and shit. It's sad. Moped in the building. I appreciate you for taking the time from work to come in here, man. Yeah, this dude Joey. Hey, if you're trolling, bro, we ain't got no time in here. We ain't got no time for any BS, bro. You'll get kicked up out of here real quick. John Page was good. So the thing that I'm trying to figure out, as I was saying, is why are we being basically forced to get Kambosos and Lomachenko? But let me rewind the tape a little quick and say this, because I lost my train of thought. I get heated, so I lose my train of thought. See, that's what happens. They try to get you flustered. They get you off your game. That's what they want. Only thing that we asked Kambosos after he won this shocking victory and we came together as a community and supported that victory, only thing we said is that, hey, all we want for you to do is fight Devin Haney. Hey, and guess what? If you want to fight in Australia and fight Devin Haney, even though Devin Haney may not like that idea too much, I'm cool with it as long as the fight is made. I don't care if you guys fight in Antarctica. I don't care where you guys fight. But that is the fight that should happen next. That is the fight. Not Lomachenko, not the guy who lost to Lopez. That's not the guy you fight. You fight the dude that nobody wants to fight, that Lopez didn't want to fight, that Lomachenko doesn't want to fight. And now it seems like you don't want to fight. That's the dude that you should fight. This undefeated young man, hungry lion, 27-0, coming off a victory, ready to prove himself. You the champ now, Kambosos. You the champ now. You got all the belts. That's the kid that you take care of first. That's who you take care of first. Then you can go and fight Lomachenko if that's what you want to do. If it's about money, if it's about, oh, I want to sell tickets. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this one too by Stacy. You know, for me personally, I'm getting tired. And no shade at you, bro, because you know I love you. But I'm getting sick and tired of this narrative. We always just push everything to the promoters. These damn promoters, man. Oh, it's all the promoters' fight. All the promoters' fault. Look, promoters are corrupt. They've been corrupt. And when we talk about people like Bob Arum, this is what you get. We know who Bob Arum is. He's a snake slithering through the grass. He was like that back in the days of Muhammad Ali. We know this. No surprise. They want, yeah, you're right. They're thinking in their head, Devin Haney, Lomachenko. Lomachenko, he beat Rigondeaux. Remember that time when Lomachenko beat Rigondeaux? Oh, it was so amazing. Oh, this guy, he's only had 9 fights or whatever it was. He's so good. He's so skilled. We never seen a white fighter fight like this. That's what it's really about, isn't it? Oh, I said it. Devon says boxing. Damn it, you said it. You're not supposed to say it. But I did. And you know the funny thing about it is that that's the truth. That's the truth. And yes, I can say it because I'm white. I don't give a fuck. Nobody can fight like that. Look at those skills. That's what it is, right? And if you say, oh, come on, man, Divine Sense, man, you're doing it again, bro. You're doing it again, Divine Sense. I'm so glad that I live in reality. I'm so glad that I walk through truth in life. I'm so glad that I can wake up in the morning and it gives me great comfort that I can walk out the door and go wherever the hell I want to go. Freedom is paramount. I'm glad I'm not a slave like you. Not able to express your thoughts and your emotions, trapped. That's what I'm thankful for. And perhaps that's what Thanksgiving should be in November. That's what it should be about. Being thankful for what you have. But that's another topic. I see your super chat in there, bro. DT, I'm gonna get to that super chat just in a second, but I want to finish my point here with my man Stacy. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what it is. We never seen a dude fight like this before. Oh, we gotta make this grand entrance, this grand arrival, this new and improved white man with skills. And let me say this before anybody starts to get upset. Let me just say this. I don't have any kind of like resentment or any problem with the idea that a white man like myself has skills in a sport that's dominated by a race that is not of my skin tone. I don't give a shit. I've been living my entire life being an athlete, playing sports where I'm the minority, where I have to prove myself. I don't have any problem with that. The problem is the boot heel on certain people's necks. We just got done explaining, if you came in here late, whereas Lomachenko, 2 fights as a professional, gets a title shot, takes a loss, gets another title shot, 3 fights into his career. That's what we're really focused on right now, people. Right? So everybody's talking about, not everybody, but the people on that side, the people that want to build Lomachenko. God damn it, Divine Sense. You said you're not supposed to say it. I don't do so well with political correctness. Sorry, not sorry. I call it for what it is. You got a white dude with skill, which I support, by the way, which I say, yes, he does have skill. I want to see him do great things, just like I want to see Devin Haney do great things. But let's keep it real. They're building this, and they ain't building that. Because the resumes speak for themselves. The career paths and how they've been built up speak for themselves. And I hate to break it to you, Lomachenko ain't the first white dude to have skills. We have somebody right now in this era who they try to dismantle as well and discredit and call him all kinds of names, who just recently fought, and that's Caleb Plant. A white dude ain't supposed to fight like that. But the difference between Caleb Plant and Lomachenko is, you guys ready for the truth? Buckle your seatbelts. The difference is that Lomachenko is from Europe, right? He's from over there. He's from over there. You follow what I'm saying? He's from over there. Just like Kambosos is from over there. He ain't from here. And I'm talking about the States, because I'm from the States. Right? So he's from over there. He's calm, cool, and collected. He doesn't say shit. He's not brash. He doesn't disrespect people at press conferences. He doesn't say how he feels. People speak for him. Just like, guess for it, you're waiting for it? Triple G. Just like him. But Caleb Plant says what he feels. Caleb Plant goes to a press conference and bitch slaps a fighter. And they say, white dude with skills. We wanted to support you, bro, but you can't act like that. You can't act like that, bro. Like, nah, like, you're white, bro. You don't act like that. Ah, shit, he just bitch slapped Canelo. All right, shit, let's put him over there. Let's put him over there with the Devin Haneys. Let's see how long it takes for Caleb Plant to get another fight. Mark it on the wall. Mark it on the wall. Let's see how long it takes Caleb Plant to get a fight. Triple G talking about to go fight Canelo again. Triple G's about to go fight Canelo again. And Lomachenko's about to fight Kambosos for all the belts. Y'all get me lit in here. But Stacy, I have your thing up here for too damn long now. Look, at the end of the day, promoters are responsible, but fighters take responsibility. They're the ones that get in the ring. They're the ones who should and can actually say who they want to fight and who they don't want to fight. A lot of fighters don't speak up. A lot of fighters just, I let my promoter speak for me. I let my promoter do the work for me. As long as I'm getting paid and I'm under the spotlight, I'm good. No, that ain't good. Because what about the days of glory? What about the days of becoming a legend? What about the days of the best fighting the best? And this is a perfect example. The fighters have to take responsibility at some point. They're the ones that lace up the gloves. They're the ones that put their lives on the line. And they're the ones who has to step through those ropes. So I don't let them off the hook. Let me get into the super chat. Long overdue. My man DT, to God. He says it's definitely no secret that it's a race problem in boxing. But when it comes to the ducking, do you think that it's fighters or more of the promoters? I think it's fair to say Haney can beat Kambosos and they don't want to lose. Well, there you have it right there by DT to God. I think it's very fair to say. I think that a lot of times you basically have two sides, right? You have ducking because of, it's not the right time and there's money problems, logistical problems, promoters can't get along. And then you have shit where it's straight up, you know what, man? We don't want no issues with this Devin Haney. We don't got no time with no Devin Haney. But the thing about it is that it's like Lomachenko is supposed to be this great skilled fighter, right? So it's not like you're picking a puncher over a boxer. Like you fight Lopez, you're fighting a puncher. That makes sense, right? Devin Haney, Lopez, okay, maybe I got a better chance to outbox the puncher. But supposedly Lomachenko, right, as he's been branded as this swift, skilled, on his feet, ducking, slipping, sliding, combination, all these great boxing skill, which fine. I'm cool with that. I'll even co-sign that. So what's the problem here? Devin Haney is not a big puncher. So you shouldn't have to worry about getting knocked out by him, right? Lomachenko skilled, Devin Haney skilled. Well, maybe they know something about Devin Haney that doesn't make them feel warm and fuzzy inside. And do you know what I think it is? Lomachenko, right? He exposed himself greatly in the Lopez fight. And you know what that is? It's a certain type of syndrome that fighters have. The same type of syndrome that Lopez had against Kambosos. You know what that is? Overconfidence. The man was overconfident. And what happened? Kambosos put him on his ass. He got too deep into the fight, and Kambosos wanted it more. Lomachenko actually has that too. That's right. He had it against Lopez, who ended up having it against Kambosos. See, the irony of the sport of boxing. That's how it works. He came in too confident. Lopez got too high up on the scorecards. And in the end, Lomachenko tried to box his way back in, had some, good rounds, like four or five good rounds, but it wasn't enough. He fell too far behind. So that's what I think Kambosos is looking at. He thinks, I'm looking at Lomachenko. Lomachenko might come in too confident, like Lopez did. Maybe I put him on his ass too. Maybe I can get enough or high enough or get more points on the scorecards and make myself comfortable. Devin Haney, though, he's a young, hungry lion. He's ready to devour, ready to chomp, ready for the moment. There is no hesitation. There is no overconfidence. It's war. That's what it is. So I hope I painted that picture well enough for people to see it. Because I've been talking and speaking about the sport of boxing too damn long. And that's what I see. And I appreciate your super chat, DT, the God, because you just reestablished what I had already seen in my mind. So I'm able to speak it here on the mic to the people. My man Big Dog in the super chat says, wrong. First white boxer with skill, Willie Pep. Yeah, like I said earlier. Lomachenko ain't the first one. I mean, even in this era right now, there are other skilled white fighters. I mean, a lot of people would argue that Josh Taylor has exceptional skills, who's about to fight here in the next week or so. But yeah, shout out to my favorite fighter of all time, Will of the Wisp, Willie Pep. So stop with this blasphemy. Oh, I'm tired of the black fighter getting so much credit. What about the white fighters? Jay Smooth, Caleb is skilled, and most people wasn't giving him credit. Absolutely. But like I was saying, he's from here, right? He's from the States. He ain't from over there. He doesn't fall in line. He's not a nice little boy, sit there, in a nice little suit, smiling, let people talk for him. That's what Triple G does. That's what Lomachenko does. Remember what I told you guys a few lives ago? A lot of you guys weren't in here then. I said, remember guys, there's a difference between the white man and a white man. Who operates boxing? The white man. I'm gonna let you guys sit on that for a second. That's what we're talking about over here. Let me take a little look at the poll. Is Kambosos ducking Haney? 67 votes. 75% say yes, absolutely. And we have 13% that says, nah, it's strategic. And 12% says, not sure. I would say the not sure is probably honest people. And the people that are voting no are probably trolls and or people who just can't accept reality. But that's fine. That's why the poll's there. Y'all can vote for it. So, I got so heated. Speaking of Willie Pep, I got so damn heated. My Willie Pep picture flew off the damn wall. There you go, right there. Signed by Willie Pep. All right, so don't play games with me. Don't play no games with me. You come to the wrong place. That's right. You are in the kingdom of divine sense boxing. I'm going to crush these fools out here. And if anybody's out there wondering, saying, hey, I just think divine sense, he's just out here trying to attack white people. He's just trying to stay with the black people. You don't know my track record very well, do you? You don't know my history on YouTube very well, do you? I probably beefed with more, or if not the same, with black channels out here as I have Latinos and whites. I don't beef that much anymore because my channel's on a different direction. My channel's on a different wavelength now. And I operate differently. And I'm older. I'm more mature. I'm more wise now. I was on YouTube back then in my early 20s. Mid-20s. So, don't get it twisted. If you come with dumb shit, you can get it. Period. And those who know me from back then, you know. I don't got to explain it to you. So, let me just say this in closure. I didn't want to make this too long of a live. It's really late for me. First one is this. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until it's absolutely official. Right now, as far as I know, and if anybody has heard anything that I haven't heard yet, let me know in the comment section. Is right now, it's like 90% done. Lomachenko and Kambosos. But Kambosos has not signed his side yet. Once that is finalized and everything's set to go, I will come on here and I'm going to give you guys my thorough thoughts about the fight, like I do any other fight. So that's that. All right. Right now, I will tell you this, that I will be greatly disappointed in Kambosos if he does indeed go through and fight Lomachenko. And it's nothing, let me repeat, it is nothing against Lomachenko. It's just not the right fight. It's not the right fight for Kambosos, period. Lomachenko, you had your chance. You lost. And you got to sit in the back of the line just like everybody else. You take a loss, you lose your belts, you got to wait. None of this, oh, you lose against Alito, you come back your next fight, and then you fight Gary Russell Jr. What kind of shit is that? Nah, no. We're not going to accept it. We're not going to be tolerant of it. And we're not going to sit up here and praise it either. And if you think, I'm talking to the promoters, if you think we're going to come up here and build the fight because it's Lomachenko, you got another thing coming. You might at the most get a prediction video out of me, because at the end of the day, I'm dedicated to the sport of boxing. But that is it. Because it's not the right fight to be made. The right fight is Devin Haney. Period, point blank. No ifs, ands, or buts. So that's what it is. Lomachenko has to go to the back of the line just like everybody else when they take an L. What happened to David Lemieux when he lost to Triple G? His ass went back to the back of the line when David Lemieux was out there cracking skulls and knocking everybody out. Even when he lost to Marco Antonio Rubio, who gave him his first loss, he had to wait. He had to wait to get another title shot. And then he got his ass stomped by Triple G, and he got to go in the back of the line again. So it's time for yo ass to know how that feels. At the end of the day, Devin Haney has earned it. He has earned his shot. So even if you say, oh, well, but come on, man, you can't lie, Divine, like it's going to be a good fight, Kambosos Lomachenko. It's not about stylistically, is it a good fight or not? It's not the right fight. It has nothing to do with how I think the fight will play out and if it's a good stylistic matchup. That's not the question. The question is, or the debate is rather, is that if it's the right fight. And it is not the right fight. At the end of the day, Haney has earned it. Lomachenko has not. Period. End of conversation. I don't see nobody crying over Devin Haney. If Kambosos go ahead and sign the deal and fights Lomachenko, what's Devin Haney going to do? Nobody's going to do a rally and cry for Devin Haney, but y'all out here crying for Lomachenko and saying, yeah, that's a great fight. What's Devin Haney supposed to do? So Devin Haney then is going to go fight somebody who's not in the top 5 because he ain't going to get any fights. Nobody wants to fight him. And then people will continue to criticize and critique his resume. It's not until he beats somebody like Kambosos to take those titles for people to give him credit, because he's now the champ. The same thing they did to Floyd Mayweather when he beat Genaro Hernandez. He started getting that respect. That's the way it works. And the only fight, if you say, okay, Divine, well, let's say we don't get what we want, and then it is indeed Lomachenko and Kambosos. Is there anything that you would like to see from Devin Haney? To be honest with you, I, the only fight that I would be entertained to talk about would maybe be the Lopez fight, just because of the bad blood, the beef, and all that shit. The fight would sell, and if Devin Haney beats Lopez's ass, we'll probably never see Lopez again. So that has a little bit of a luster to it, a little bit of an appeal to it. But other than that, right now my mind is fixated on the dude has deserved his title shots, and he deserves that shit. And if you're not cool with that and you don't agree with that, then we're not on the same page. So when it's on the topic of Devin Haney, maybe you don't stop by. Maybe you wait for another topic. Rada, I appreciate you. Elias, man. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I appreciate you from Israel. Thank you, sir, for dropping by. So that's what it comes down to, people. If you want to know my opinion, there you have it. There was another point that I wanted to address too before I get up out of here. Devin Haney and Lomachenko, that's the fight that needs to be made. And I'm gonna press the pause button until it's all official. On rather Kambosos is indeed gonna fight Lomachenko. I'll come on here and dig a little bit deeper, and I'll make a prediction fight. We have a fight coming up here. Josh Taylor's gonna fight. I'm thinking about squeezing out a quick little prediction video before that fight happens. And then, of course, in April, we do get a good fight. We are getting a good fight, and that is Ugas and Earl Spence. And I know a lot of people, oh, yeah, but Divine, it should have been Bud. Man, I'm sick of it. Don't ask me. Don't text me. Don't say anything to me about Bud and Spence. Because a lot of you don't even know the torment, and even about the past 3 or 4 months. The Spence Crawford shit, I've been dealing with it for years. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Right now, in my head, it's Spence and Ugas, and that's a good fight anyway. So that's just what it is, man. I don't know what Bud's doing. Last time I checked, he was out there trying to sue Bob Arum. So that's where he's at. I'm tired of worrying about Spence ducking Bud and Bud ducking. Like, y'all losing way too much energy over that shit. These two dudes ain't trying to fight, and that's fine. Spence and Ugas, that's it. So I'm going to start focusing my energy over there because that's a good fight. And it's a division that it's one of my favorite divisions in the welterweight division. And I'm going to start dropping the prediction videos and the breakdown videos and start digging deep into this fight. It's a great fight. And then, if Earl Spence beats Ugas, then we can start knocking on the door and say, what are you going to do, bud? What are you going to do, bud? But until then, I'm looking forward to that fight. All right? So just letting you guys know, this would have been a good time to do the Firestorm and have other people on the panel. But I didn't have enough time to send out emails and invites to people. But let's see what happens in the next day or so on what happens with this whole Kambosos and Lopez and Lomachenko. Let's see what happens the next couple of days once everything's official. Maybe I'll put a panel together, and then we'll get to business. We'll start cooking because that's what needs to happen. And I saw my man in here earlier. Omega Red says, "Hey, don't worry about ranting. Just let it out." Hey, I feel you on that, man. But my thing is this: I'm like a turbine. You know what I mean? Like, once I get going, it's hard for me to stop. So, and I just start taking heads off. You know, heads will roll up in here real quick. So I try to restrain myself. And luckily, the chat was all respectful and good. 95% from the family. So I appreciate that. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to come in here and say. What I really wanted to do in this live is just paint the picture, man. Lomachenko. This is the guy that Kambosos is trying to sell to us. Let's look at his resume. Let's look at the guys that he's fought. Let's look how he's got these titles. Let's look at the simple fact that, you know, he's being built up to be this this great hope. I don't even have to put the race tag onto it. Just he's the great hope. That's how he's being built up to be. And you can't dispute that. So this, for me, right now, what I'm trying to point out is not about Devin Haney being ducked or not per se. My thing is this: why is he getting another title shot? Why is Lomachenko getting another title shot? That's what I'm waiting for that answer. I haven't gotten it yet. The man that came on the Blue Blood Sports Live, he couldn't tell Blue. He couldn't tell Blue. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't gotten that answer yet. I'm asking a question. Why is he continuously getting title shots? I'm just asking. Nobody has an answer for me. Oh, just be happy the fight's happening. No, I'm not happy. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it at all. I don't know Devin Haney. He didn't mean nothing to me. But he earned his shot. It's as simple as that. So all I wanted to do is come on here tonight and just magnify, man. Just magnify Lomachenko. It's about Lomachenko. It's Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. That's what it is. As in, why is Kambosos going to choose Lomachenko out of Devin Haney over Devin Haney? And so tonight was about Lomachenko. I don't need to talk about Devin Haney. Oh, Divine, why don't you talk about Devin Haney's resume? I don't need to. I really don't need to. What is he? 27-0? Yeah, 27. He's 27-0, 15 KOs. Undefeated. Coming off a win. Good amateur pedigree as well. I got nothing to say. I got nothing to talk about his resume. I don't need to talk about it. He already earned his shot. I don't need to talk about it. I already know Lomachenko's resume. I already put it up on here. He lost against Lopez. I don't care about the other two wins he got. He had to do that or be put on the shelf. He had to do that. I don't care about that. He's got to go in the back of the line like everyone else. That's it. That's it. I don't care. Joey, I don't care. You were in here trolling earlier, but I'll acknowledge you. I don't care. I don't care about the draw. I don't care that Lomachenko's got 15 gold medals back at home in the Ukraine. I don't care. He hasn't earned it. I'll repeat it. He hasn't earned it. Devin Haney has earned it. I don't care if it makes money. I don't care. I'm a boxing fan. You can sell that. You can sell Kambosos and Devin Haney. You can. I promise you, you can. It's excuses, right? It's a mirage. That's all it is. It's a mirage, bro. It's a mirage. Lomachenko is a mirage. Devin Haney's got real skill. He's got charisma. And when you look at Kambosos, Devin Haney, and Kambosos and Lomachenko, who's going to have a better press conference? You want to talk about the buildup of the fight. I see Devin Haney have a lot of charisma. I see him coming in, talking a little bit of shit, getting things all riled up, saying, Kambosos, you beat the dude that I was supposed to beat up. He ducked me, so I'm going to beat you. I'm going to take your belts. Lomachenko ain't going to do none of that. Lomachenko's just a mirage. He's just an image that's being propped up. That's it. That's the only way he's able to sell. Period. And keep disrespecting Devin. Keep disrespecting him. Keep disrespecting him. Because I've been a part of this scenario many times before talking about boxing, man. Many times before out there hating. I remember when people back in the day used to hate on Keith Thurman. I remember a lot of people used to hate on Keith Thurman. And then until Keith Thurman, became one time knocking dudes out, winning titles, and beating Danny Garcia, beating all these top welterweights. Then everyone got quiet. And then as soon as he lost to Pacquiao, those same people came back. See, that's how they treat you out here. That's the way they treat you. Prince Cobbs, what's good, man? Good to see you in here. Glad you made it. But look, I think an hour and 45 or whatever it is more than enough. Hopefully, people that weren't able to come in live are able to go back, rewind, and watch the live. I'm hoping that I was able to magnify some things for you guys, put things in perspective for you guys. That's why I do this. Apologize, I'm not live as much as you guys probably would like to. But, luckily we have a great community here. People reach out to me, hit me up. Yo, Devon, what's good, man? When you coming back? We want to hear your thoughts, this, that, and whatever. And, I watched a lot of other channels out here. Blue Blood was actually the one who motivated me today to come on here and talk with you guys, because I was like, you know what, man? Blue's got some solid points. He's got some solid points because, to be honest with you, when I heard about Lomachenko and Kambosos, I was just shaking my head. I was just like, man, I don't got no motivation to talk about it. It's just bullshit. But when I heard Blue talk about some certain things, I was like, all right, a person like me, a veteran on here on YouTube, I got to come out here and let you guys know. And I'm getting tired of people doing this, playing this narrative of like, oh, we out here race baiting and we playing the race card, and we only support black fighters and this and that. I'm sick of it. I'm really, really sick of it. But you know what? Y'all ain't gonna divide us. All you do is unite us more. That's all you do. You make us stronger. Every time you hate, we get stronger. It's like the juggernaut. All right. We build momentum. We just keep busting through walls. We just get stronger and stronger going forward. Can't stop us. An unstoppable force. That's what I should rename my channel to. Juggernaut Boxing. Unstoppable force. That's what we do. The more you hate, the stronger we get. Don't you feel the storm coming? Bring that bullshit in here. We just saw a troll get massacred on Drew Titan's channel. What was it? A couple weeks ago? Y'all witnessed that, right? That's what I'm talking about. When you hate, we get stronger. Because we know how we operate here on these YouTube streets. We know how we conduct ourselves. When we make a mistake, we admit it. We put our hand up. But you best believe we don't play into that. So when I hear these things happen, I come out. I have to come out. I have to. I was hoping to get at least 50 likes in this live today. Not sure if we got it. And again, I'm not sure if Omega Red's still in here in the building, man, but he became an official member of the channel tonight, and I appreciate you immensely. And for anyone else want to become an official member of the channel like my man Omega Red did today and support the channel, I greatly appreciate you. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat before I get up out of here. But look, this will be up afterwards. If you missed a lot of it, it'll be up, open to everybody. And you can go back through and watch. I poked a lot of holes into Lomachenko, man, especially because I want to remind people. How is it that Lomachenko gets a title shot, a second professional fight, loses that fight, gets another shot in his third fight, and we got someone like Devin Haney, it takes him, like 18 plus fights just to get a title shot. It took Floyd Mayweather the same amount of time, who's also a fellow Olympian who was robbed a gold medal like Lomachenko, and it took him 15 plus fights to get a title shot. You can't make this stuff up, people. You can't make this stuff up. So I just wanted to come in here and say my piece. And just, a little gentle reminder. Maybe not so gentle for some people, but that's not my problem. Not my problem at all. But look, man, like I said, I appreciate you guys, and consider becoming an official member of the channel as we plug along here, start dropping some exclusive videos. You guys will have access to that. And as we, one cool thing about big fights coming up, like Spence and Ugas, right? We get this live commentary pumping. And if you guys were in here for the Gary Russell Jr. fight, we got up to, I think it was like 5,000 people in here at one time, right? It gets lit. It gets crazy lit. Overall views, over 100,000 views. These type of lives, man, because you guys know how I get on the mic and I break down boxing, my live commentary, it shit gets lit. So you want to be a part of the conversation for sure as an official member of the channel, because you got the custom emojis, you get VIP kind of responses to your comments and things like that. So we got a big fight coming up, Spence and Ugas, and there'll be more. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we try to focus on. And look, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So special shout out to you guys as always. So Loma, hey, yeah, for sure. That before I get out of here, I'm gonna highlight this real quick for my man Stacy. Exactly, that's what it should be. It should be Devin Haney and the Kambosos and Loma and Garcia. That's what it should be. If anybody's wondering, well, if Loma doesn't fight Kambosos, who should he fight? Well, Ryan Garcia. Right there. My man Stacy, he got it out. He pointed it out for you guys. So there you go. You guys got your answer. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's late for me. Again, thank you guys so much for dropping by. Make sure that you've hit that like button if you hadn't already. And if you do not follow me on Instagram, make sure you guys swoop by Instagram real quick and put in Divine Sense Boxing into Instagram. Follow me. That's a good place to DM me about anything or everything. I'm a very open and responsive person. I'm going to recognize you. So if you try to troll me, I'll get blocked. And, another thing that I appreciate people on the IG is if you see some boxing news that pops up that catches your eye, send it through and maybe I'll talk about it, and I'll give you a shout out for giving me the news as well. So hit me up on the IG and I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. I'll try to be live again by the end of this week. I'm going to try to get at least 2 lives a weekend for you guys, man. So I appreciate you. I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all stay up, stay strong, stay positive. It's your boy, Divine Sense Boxing, exiting the building. Peace.